Here is the only way you're going to be able to test to see if the telomeres have gotten shorter on a generational scale. What you do is you measure the length of the telomeres, especially the whole chromosome. Measure the length of the entire chromosome of people when they're near death. Find the oldest people that you can find for the study, 100, maybe 100 years old, and measure to see how long their chromosomes are. Then next year, measure all the people that are 100 years old to see how short their chromosomes are. And examine people that are 100 years old for 50 years. Might as well. I guarantee you that when the study is concluded in 50 years, that if you do not start raising the age of consent to 35, after this 50-year study, you're going to find that at least in 50 years that you're going to be raising the age of consent on males to 35, because what you're going to see is shorter telomeres every year. You may only have to do this for 15 years or even 10 years to have a conclusive study. Just find 100 years old. Find the people that are 100. You could start when they're 80. Find all the people in the area that are 80 years old in a large city. Do a couple different cities. Do this for 10 years. And study people that are 80 years old. Measure the length of their chromosomes. Next year, measure all the people that are 80 years old. The old study, they're now 81 or dead. Measure the 80-year-olds for 10 years, and I guarantee you, you're going to see shorter telomeres. And this is going to prove that older fathers create stronger DNA, which we now already know since 2012. But what this is going to prove is that when people reach the age of 80, they have shorter telomeres, because this is actually corrupting DNA to even allow them to have sex. The youth bandwagoning, too much telomerase, too much pollution, too much breeding with males under the age of 35. This is going to prove from the paternal aging effect of 1912. Look it up on Wikipedia. Wikipedia guarantees that the paternal aging effect is a myth, based on 2009 research. It's a myth that older fathers do not corrupt human DNA. In 2012, since Northwestern University, it has shown that older fathers actually strengthen human DNA. And what you need to do is study 80-year-olds and the length of their chromosomes for 10 years. 80-year-olds 1 year, 80 years. You see what I'm saying? You'll be able to see at old age who has longer chromosomes. You do different studies. Do the 80-year-olds. Do like the 20-year-olds. Do it from like birth, year by year. All the people born that year, measure their chromosomes. Measure the next year, all the chromosome lengths. Birth. You could do it that way. You just measure the average. Measure the chromosome length of children born in 2017, and then measure the children born in 2018. Make sure the fathers themselves, in order to have a control group, measure the fathers themselves. Make sure that those fathers are under the age of 35. Only measure the kids where the father is in the 20s and the mother is in the 20s. Just keep it at that general area. Mothers in the 20s, fathers in the 20s. Birth of kids, the length of the chromosomes year by year, you're going to notice that the length is going down. Measure the lengths of the children born to fathers that are 35 to 55 based on this Northwestern University study, and then find the people that are born to people when the mother is under 26 and the father is over 35 to 55. 16 to 26 for females, and 35 to 55 for males. I guarantee you creates stronger DNA because of progesterone in women and telomerase in the men at the levels of semen and the womb progesterone. Measure those kids that are born to the women that are between 16 and 26, and fathers 35 to 55. Those couplings, find those. I guarantee you that the children year by year will have longer telomeres, which means that they have less medical conditions and they're going to live longer and be better kids.